pivoted so many times, my head is spinning. So why does Meghan Markle's latest influencer strategy just smell like desperation? Today, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about the as ever pivot into influencer marketing. Is 2026 the make or break year for her lifestyle and tea jam company? And guess what? She's now selling her Invictus wardrobe on one-off. Now, what does that mean? Let me tell you. Aliza Licht and I are going to get into it. Now, we know that she has sold stuff on one-off before. This is for Invictus, but there's a difference between paparazzi photos and charitable photos. Here to discuss everything with me is my friend, brand marketing expert and PR maven, former magazine editor, Aliza Licht. Aliza, thank you.
Paula, I'm so happy to be back to talk about our favorite person.
All right, so Aliza, let's look at this influencer video because I got a lot of questions. She went from using herself to using Olivia McDowell with 650,000 followers across platforms. Now, this is the video that As Ever has up now. And there's some interesting things about it after.
Is my favorite season for spontaneous hosting, and even on short notice, there are a few tips I always like to keep in mind. Starting with, don't overcomplicate the menu. I like to prepare one thing from scratch, and then I pick a few baked goods to pair with excellent ingredients like this raspberry spread. It's one of my favorites, and I cannot get enough of it. Tip 2, I love engaging all of the senses, including smell, so I always light a nice candle, and this one smells of fresh florals and truly turns my home into a garden. I always think the best gatherings linger a little longer when the guests leave with something connected to the gathering, like this bright and beautiful hibiscus tea. Whether it's a thoughtfully set table or simply making time to gather, I believe the little details are what make guests feel welcome. And these treasures from As Ever truly elevate every moment.
Treasures.
Right. Thank you. I just wanted to point out, number one, spontaneous matush, because nothing about that was spontaneous. Number two, I'm sick of Meghan's scripts, because you can tell it's a Meghan script because it was tips and tricks and senses and these kind of things, but also treasures. When was the last time somebody looked at a pot of honey, some tea, and a wickless candle and said, "You're my treasure"?
Well, and let's just even talk about, she cast a person that resembles her.
So much so that when you go on Olivia McDowell's Instagram, her pinned posts, there were several of them. I thought, oh my gosh, that's Meghan. No, it's not Meghan. There's one where she's in New York City and you're just looking at it going, what's Meghan doing on her Instagram? She's not. But the switch from basically Meghan marketing Meghan, or As Ever Meghan, to Olivia McDowell, basically going from Meghan sitting at a windowsill, kind of rubbing herself in a weird way, dreaming about jam and honey, and to Olivia McDowell. There was a lot of controversy over that.
Well, first of all, Meghan understands maybe now that she herself can't sell the product.
Yep.
But instead of leaning into somebody who has a totally unique relationship with their audience, she chose someone that actually has a very similar aesthetic to her brand, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's interesting because, to me, this woman, Olivia, is almost like an understudy. It's like Meghan can't play the starring role anymore, so she has a substitute. And by the way, influencer marketing, there's nothing wrong with using influencers to market your brand. Clearly, the creator economy is growing exponentially. But you can't help but wonder, was she chosen at this point in time because of other issues in terms of how the brand is selling.
Well, it's funny you say that because I went back in our last conversation and this is what you said.
It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, here's her real problem. She's the product and everybody knows it.
Oof. And nobody wants that product, hey? Yep.
So Meghan is a fan of Uncensored, obviously.
She finally got the message. You're the product, nobody wants it.
I mean,
so she's pivoted to a doppelganger. But what I find fascinating, and I know some other YouTube accounts brought it up. I believe it was the Sidley twins and another YouTube account. Forgive me, it's blowing my mind right now. But I believe you're just kind of going Star Chairs. That was the account. They noted that there's something fishy going on. They were saying basically that the reels on As Ever, they're not it's not a paid partnership label. Olivia had it on hers as a dream partnership, but if you go back to Olivia's account right now, I can't find that dream partnership anywhere. And it turns out, I think she freaked out by the backlash.
Well, it started off as a collab tool on Instagram, meaning that one piece of content is shared on both accounts. And she shared it in her story, and it was Olivia McDowell and As Ever, right? Dream partnership, as you say in the stories. And then now it is gone from her feed. And what's more is in As Ever's post, there's no mention of any partnership or anything. It's literally that Olivia is just, almost like a paid actress in an ad campaign. So I'm sure she got massive backlash, which is interesting. And she archived the post, stopped sharing is the exact function. Stop sharing.
By the way, allegedly may have archived the post, but the point of the matter is it's not there anymore. It's fascinating. I mean, there must have been money exchanged hands. We know influencers don't do anything for free. And by the way, I'm not complaining. I don't like to do things for free. When people are like, "Can you do this? You'll get marketing exposure." And I go, "What?" And then they say, "Well, there's not any money." And I'm thinking, "No, someone's getting paid." So I'm not mad at it.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
But it just seems to me, what did that contract look like?
Well, I guarantee you it didn't say that you can take yourself off the post. Normally, it's for a period of time. So when you do an influencer partnership, let's say it's a 3-month partnership, she might have exclusivity where she can't speak about other jam brands, it's very important. And taking yourself off a collab is probably one of the biggest insults.
Allegedly, if that happened, wow. I would be really interested to see if there are any more posts forthcoming. But I would like to add, I have some more advice for Meghan. Honey, just get some real people eating jam in the run. Our lives are not slow. Gosh darn it. Our lives are fast. They're messy. And they're spontaneity is me at a bar saying, "Okay, I gotta get out of this house," or "I'm gonna boil an egg. That's what I got time for."
No, please, boiling an egg is like 20 minutes. You have time for like a quick little omelet. But I know. Listen, here's the thing. The reality is, the post was originally shared, and now it's gone. So we know that. So she did take herself off the post. Period. End of report.
So there we go, Aliza. And, I just have to ask, at some point, when did she decide to switch from Hollywood Friends, putting her stuff up? I think it was probably around the time that Serena Williams put up a video of her broken chocolates. It was like, I don't like chocolates anyway. And then she went to herself. Now she's at influencers.
Paula, first of all, you know, we spoke for so long during that episode. You playing that clip just now, she absolutely watched it. Because the only way you take a hard right into influencer marketing at this exact moment is when you realize that you're the problem.
Right. But here's the deal, Aliza. She's never listened to anyone before.
Well, maybe we're very convincing, Paula. Maybe we're very convincing.
I mean, listen, now she's saying it's going to be family focused, wink, the children, influencers. People are not happy about this. And let's go to the numbers, which you discussed with me, and I made a handy graphic.
Ooh. Oh my God. Look at you. Look at you. Okay.
So,
all right.
as ever's traffic has declined massively, and the majority of her traffic is international. So she can't ship there. And I go to her site sometimes. I'm not going to lie. I like to look at the prices. I like to look at the products. And I'm not buying anything. And I don't think anyone else is either. I don't think she's selling. What do you think? I think there's more interest in the car crash than there is in running jam, overpriced honey, and candles that have been sent out with no wicks.
I mean, I think it's really, you know, I'll ask you, when's the last time you ran out to buy some jam?
You know, I think I still have some in my fridge from 2 years ago.
I don't think I own jam.
Oh, wow. I mean, I'll be fair. I own honey. But again, I was at Whole Foods and the honey prices have shot through the roof. Apparently, there's a bee issue.
Well, not for Meghan. She has her own beehive.
Yeah, but she also doesn't like honey and doesn't like bees. I mean, she said that in her first episode, basically. Or she likes honey, but she doesn't like bees and doesn't like getting a mess. But
I think it froze.
The issue is, for me, how are you going to pay your bills off of this? How much does she need to scale these products? And is she at scale? And do you think 2026 is her big make or break year? This brand has been around for a year now. I mean, how long do brands usually last if they don't take off?
Well, it depends how much money she has to just float it. But I think it's going to go away, actually.
Why?
Because there's no demand for it. And I think that the website traffic is, first of all, you have to remember when she really launches things, initially she had like the Netflix show as the foundational marketing of everything, right? And that went away. So now you have to think to yourself, like, okay, what does she have to actually continuously drive traffic to this site? Now, obviously, can she do paid ads? Yes. Is she doing paid social? I don't actually think she is. And if we go back to her ability to move product, and we think back to her Shop My days, right? Forget about one-off for a minute. When you go back to Shop My, she had gotten on Shop My in March 2025, and then they initially took down the shop in September 2025. Girl only had a 0.02% conversion rate.
Oh, wow.
0.02. That is basically flatline.
Right.
So,
wow. No wonder she took it down.
I think that she, honestly, I feel bad for her in a lot of ways, because I think that she is trying so hard to like do the mental gymnastics around who she is, what she stands for, what she's selling. I mean, she'll go speak about, the dangers of social media, but then she uses social media. She puts her kids on social media with emojis. Like, she doesn't quite know where to be. And that's a very uncomfortable place to be.
Well, it also seems like there aren't many boundaries for herself. There's boundaries for other people, but not for her. Like, she feels that she and Harry can do whatever they want, and it does feel hypocritical. And inauthentic, even though she keeps talking about authenticity. But the other thing is, for me at least, this entire thing is, we said earlier in the show, it just feels 2019 to me. You know, you look at someone like Gwyneth Paltrow, for example, who's now in a big storm because she's using her face to market Israeli condos. But she don't care. She's like, yep, I'm doing it. Bye. You know, or you look at other people who have done it, the Kardashians, but they, for some reason, and maybe you can fill in why they appear so okay and authentic about it. Like the Kardashians are like, yep, we're snake oil salesmen. See ya, but you like it. And they're very similar. People want to look at them because they're visually fascinating, but also people buy their stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I've bought Skims before because I also have a big butt. And the Skims make my butt look better. It's a decent product, but it's also inexpensive compared to Spanx. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. Fine. Then you've got Gwyneth Paltrow, who sells really expensive stuff, crazy stuff, like, and weird stuff, candles that smell like my vagina, not mine, hers. But it's very, you know, why do they work and not Meghan?
It's a fascinating question. And in my book on brand, I have a chapter called Zero Fucks Given Branding. Zero fucks given branding is probably the most powerful way to build an audience because it is coming from such a place of authenticity. When you are authentic, you don't use the word authenticity, okay? When you have to constantly message authenticity, you are not. It's like people that use the word classy. Those people are not classy or elegant. They are the opposite.
They are usually classy, but with a K.
So when we talk about Gwyneth and we talk about Kim or any of them, number one, they are so coming from a place of, I know my audience. I know what they want. I know what they need. Skims is an incredible brand. What woman does not want to feel better about their body? She also is the product, right? She is the original Skims girl, but it came naturally to her. It came, most great founders, like, you know, I worked for Donna Karan for 17 years. That brand started because she was trying to solve a problem for women.
Yep.
When you are trying to solve a problem for women, you will always win. Now, Meghan is trying to solve the jam problem for women, which, you know, is like a pandemic, because it is very, very serious. If you do not have the right jam or honey, your entire day can be derailed. Now,
and by the way, don't forget candles, because there's not enough diptyques to go around.
Well, she's creating the problem without the wick. So that's interesting. She's like, you know, here's a candle without the wick. But Gwyneth is interesting because I don't think most people are like, where's my candle that smells like vaginas? Like, but she is using a form of marketing that is really shock marketing. She is pushing buttons and she is saying, I think this is clever and interesting. I'm going to put it out there. And she doesn't care. She does not care. That's where Zero Fucks Given comes in. What you think, because you know what? You're still going to talk about it.
Yeah. And it also feels like, you know, you go to her house and she'd be like, okay, so anyway, you know, Amy Odell had some interesting scenes from Gwyneth's house in her biography on Gwyneth. And yeah, I think she lives that way. Yes, I think Meghan tries to live that way, but I also think Meghan is trying to be someone that she may or may not be, because she doesn't know who she is. She's gone through several iterations. You know, you once said to me, well, she's playing a role. And I said, yeah, but she ain't that great of an actress.
Right.
And I think it just comes off. And the other issue is she just keeps doing it. She tries to do Zero F's Given, but the problem is she does it in the wrong way. So for example, we're about to get onto One Off. one off when she did the selling of the clothes on Bondi Beach. That's the wrong way to give 0 Fs. Do you know what I mean?
But Paula, here's the problem. She does give an F. She
Well,
does.
She gives an F about her money. She gives an F about getting that coin, and that's about it. Because then you've got, she's now gone back in time to sell all of her outfits from Invictus. This is from Dusseldorf in 2023. Now, Aliza, this outfit, I believe, was worn on the day that Canadian veteran Scott Snow was horrifically and permanently injured during the Dusseldorf games. Neither Harry or Meghan have reached out. Invictus is ghosting Scott Snow. And if she were to get 10% from this outfit, that would be around $1,000, and it would pay for some of his therapy that he needs. He wears a fentanyl patch every day, all day, because he's in that much pain. And then she also has this from the Invictus Games on air, selling her macaque coat and the leggings and the snow boots. And for me, it's kind of like, if you're going to market outfits that you wore at these games for veterans, number one, you should at least give a percentage of your percentage, but you should probably give it all, because at the end of the day, is $1,000 or $300 going to keep the lights on in Montecito? And no. But also, what is the irony of her and basically Harry using their charitable deeds to market the clothes she's wearing so she can get money?
Because she doesn't have empathy for that person. Harry, I don't think of this as Harry as much, because he's really coming from the true royalty. She's in this because she has to be in this. But just going back to the 0 fucks given for a second, she does, all she speaks about, actually all they both speak about, is how harassed they are, how bullied they are. They're constantly the victim. So no, she can't have empathy for Scott because she's a victim.
Right. And also, by the way, she's a victim. They've been bullied, but at the same time, her staff has also called her a bully. It kind of reminds me of in college. I went to college at Emory and in Atlanta, and there was a subset of frat guys. I was not in a sorority, but, or a fraternity system, but of course I was friendly with a lot of people. And there was a subset of frat guys who were kind of the nerds in high school and then joined a cool frat. But instead of remembering what it felt like to be picked on, they became the bully and emulated the behavior, and were pretty much some of the worst guys on campus.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of them so much. But, I wonder, because even if she did sell all of these clothes, okay, but as you pointed out before, their last season, several seasons ago, there's no way you're going to sell out thousands of products and make a lot of money. So this is really kind of chump change. What she really wants, because she is supposedly an investor, she wants the payout when or if the company sells. And I have 2 questions on that. Number one, if she's really in it for the payout, which I believe she is, when it sells or if it sells, why not donate the proceeds? Her and Harry spend all this time talking about how they just want to show up and do good. But where's the money that actually makes it work?
Well, I mean, shouldn't they be doing that with everything they do? I mean, the fact that she's even selling clothes, like if I were Meghan, I would go away for a couple of years. I would get rid of everything. And she should just go back to acting. I don't know why she believes, I do know why, because I think, honestly, going back to Gwyneth, I think she looks at Gwyneth as a template. She looks at Gwyneth. She was an actress. She did that. She started her own brand. She has her website now. Gwyneth's brand, I don't think Goop is doing incredibly well, But Gwyneth is an investor. Gwyneth has she has her own investing VC, right? So it's the same kind of model that I think Meghan is taking in terms of investing in things. So one-off, I mean, I think she's on there. I would love to see the back end of one-off and who is buying this stuff. I mean, the first thing we ever spoke about was her $50,000 outfit.
Yeah.
So who is buying that?
No, I have no idea. I feel like she's gotten several templates. She looked at Jessica Alba, who did the same thing, Reese Witherspoon, but then she also looked at Emma Thin, the Marchioness of Bath. But and now she's looking at, Ben Affleck just sold his AI company. He was an investor. It was not his everything. He was not 100%. But it sold for $600 million. And I think she was like, oh, I'm going to invest in this, not unlike Brooks Nader and Olivia Ponton and Quavo invested in one-off. I'm going to invest in one-off, and it will reap bountiful rewards, which, okay, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I would like somebody to be like, hey, Paula, can you give me $5 and I'll give you back $2 million in TikTok 3 years? Yes, I would love that. But, I wonder why they're just so stingy with the one-off money. Her outfits might actually sell if she said, any event I went to that was charitable, be it Bondi Beach, be it the Australian hospital, be it Invictus games, all the money that comes from these outfits goes right back to that organization. That might actually sell.
Actually, that might help her brand, her personal brand, because at the end of the day, she should be doing that and selling her outfits. Oh my God, there's a massive spider on my wall. I'm just going to remain calm. She should be selling her outfits and doing good and figuring out how to make money a different way. The optics of that would help her tremendously. But her optics are all around how she's helping herself.
Yes. And even when her and Harry both say, we show up, do good. It's a takeoff of the old Facebook marketing slogan, break things, move fast, but you just wonder, but what good are you doing besides doing kind of poverty porn pics? What are you doing besides your own, oh, look, everyone's smiling at us. It makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Why can't you actually just show up and really make a difference? When R12 started, R12 Foundation, it's now R12 Philanthropies, which nobody rebrands like that unless there's some question into
it, for sure.
But they had so much money to start with. And there were so many things that they really could have done. And the last year, it was horse trading. The last year it was around, the biggest grant they gave was $250,000 to Joe Biden's daughter's weird, we help women get back on their feet. We don't know how or why, charity. And it was horse trading. And there was no actual thought. You looked at the list of actual charities that they gave to, and you were just looking at it going, where's the theme?
I would love to know who advises her, or if she even has an advisor. But if I could get her in a room, I would start the conversation by saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? Do you even understand the optics around your brand? Delete everything. Delete everything. Every single thing. Every initiative. Every single thing. Let's start over here. Start over. Because she just digs herself deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah. And I would say, instead of hiring a doppelganger to do an influencer marketing video in the same tone, voice, whatnot, I would say, really, you want to speak to real people? I work 12 to 13 hours a day. I have no time for breakfast. Why don't you do a shot of somebody running into their kitchen going, I'm starving. What do I have? Oh gosh, throw some toast in, shove it with jam. run out the door.
That would have been way better.
Because, by the way, real people's lives, real people who have to work several jobs are not slow and quiet. And my life is loud, it's messy, and it's often way too fast for me to even comprehend what has happened until I'm in bed and I go, oh my gosh, I forgot to turn the stove off.
And by the way, that's how we all feel. But she lives in 2011 Instagram. This is the problem. Her entire brand aesthetic is living in the past. In 2011, when Instagram was 1 year old, this would be perfect. You can aspire to live like this. And I think in her mind, she's thinking, this is an aspirational lifestyle that you should want. And we're actually thinking, I don't want that because I'm a real person. And like, I am always late. So like, there is no tablescape, like literally zero. I don't even have a flower.
By the way, there is for Thanksgiving. There is for Christmas, possibly another themed party.
Fine.
But every darn day, once a week, do you know how many dishes that is? But it's, so 2 questions before we leave, Aliza. Number one off. I get why it was started and I get why other celebrities are in it, right? Paparazzi make money off of shooting them every day and put their photos up. Why shouldn't the celebrities make money off of the outfit they're wearing, right? So you can get most one-off is, here's what they were wearing on the street. Click, this is how you can buy it. I get that. But Meghan isn't shot by paparazzi. And if she is, it's planned, it's contrived. And it's different to use one-off as, okay, I'm going to turn the tables on the paparazzi shot, then I'm going to turn the tables on charity speaking. And
okay, sorry, go on.
No, that's okay. I just wonder, do you think it will sell?
I have a question though. It one-off insinuates it's like one of a kind, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So is the idea of one-off that celebrities, this is just a unique outfit that you can only get via one-off? Because most of the time when celebrities are doing public appearances, those are samples loaned by brands. So what are you actually selling here? So
I will say they're talking about their own street stuff, right? Like they're walking in the streets of Soho and they click and, oh, she looks great. What is she wearing?
Well, let me tell you something. Shout out to my friend, Ashley Margolis from the A-List. Like,
oh, she's the best.
She's the best. But like back in the day, we all used to say, take a celebrity, put them in an outfit, send them on the street, have them come back in, change, go back out again. I mean, a lot of those paparazzi shots are staged and engineered. That's how you get things like who wore it best, for example. Like brands used to, I mean, I'm sorry if I'm like ruining Us Weekly for everyone in terms of back in the day and like Santa Claus isn't real, but like those stories generally were created.
Yeah.
Like, they're not real. So, I mean, one-off, it's like, unless you're like somebody who is like effortlessly chic, like Kaya Gerber, like she would work on one-off. But Meghan, everything about her is engineered. So I don't think there's an allure there.
Well, the other question I have, final question. What do you think is going to happen to As Ever? What do you think the runway is and why?
So I actually think the runway is very short if she was willing to take the fail in the time that she should. So I think she will burn more cash to make sure that the optics around it don't look good. So I think what will happen is it will keep declining. She'll keep funding it so that it's there, but she'll parallel path a new venture to be announced. And then she'll announce that new venture within the year. And then she will quietly make As Ever shrink away. That to me will be the strategy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's not going to last. It's not going to last because the concept of the entire brand is it's not well thought out.
We're going to wait and see. I think we should start something on Kalshi or one of those betting sites.
Well, wait, just because we have to talk about this one thing. So we went from speaking with World Health Organization about the dangers of social media with kids to now saying she's going to shift back to family focus. And you and I didn't even discuss the brand. What was it called? Lil Olive or whatever?
Olive.
Yeah. So how does that work? She doesn't want to put kids on social media, but she's going to shift back to family as a marketing strategy now?
Right. Other people's kids, maybe, but either way, still kids. I hear you. It is so insane. But Aliza Licht, thank you for making sense in this senseless world with Meghan Markle.
Paula, thank you. And I mean, honestly, we should one day just go live and spend all day talking about this because I think we really could.
Well, I think it's a university class. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And thank you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Now, remember, you got to like, you got to subscribe, you got to hit the bell. I'm still kind of shocked that like only 30 to 40% of you guys who watch my videos are subscribed. So come on, show the love. I'll show you the love. And I appreciate you. And you know what? I am going to give you a quick daily Doug. Uno momento. And there we go. That's our Dougie Doug. Gosh, I love him. He's such a goose. Love you guys too. I really, really appreciate you. Like, subscribe. See you in a bit.